It gushes, it stains, it terrifies, but it's not real. Behind every horror scene and battle wound is a secret recipe you were never meant to see. Today, we take you deep inside the factory where fake blood is made and reveal how chemistry, color, and fear come together to create the illusion of pain. You've seen 1,000 times. A scream, a stab, a gush of red. But have you ever stopped to wonder, what exactly is that blood? It isn't human. It isn't animal. It's artificial, and yet somehow it feels disturbingly real. That's the magic of fake blood. It's a science, a trait, an illusion so convincing you forget it's not real. But fake blood isn't just for horror films. It's used in war epics, medical training, haunted houses, even theme parks. Wherever fear, realism, and impact are needed, blood follows. The journey of fake blood begins centuries ago, long before cinema existed. In ancient Greek and Roman theater, stage actors would use real animal blood or red wine to simulate wounds. During Shakespeare's time, pig's blood was sometimes used in live performances. It wasn't just messy, it was unsanitary and dangerous, but got the reaction. In 1895, when the first motion picture horror scenes were filmed, filmmakers had to improvise. Enter chocolate syrup. Yes, Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho used Hershey's syrup in that legendary shower scene. Why? Because it looked perfect on black and white film. But once color cinema took over, the need for realistic red became urgent. This marked the birth of fake blood as an industry. So let's break it down. Most commercial fake blood is made from a corn syrup base for thickness and stickiness. Then comes the coloring, a mix of red, blue, and sometimes green dyes to mimic the color of real oxygenated blood. Other key ingredients include glycerin for shine and moisture retention, sorbitol to prevent drying, gelatin or xanthan gum for clotting effects, preservatives to increase shelf life, detergents to make it washable from fabric, flavoring agents, and edible versions used in actors' mouths. But here's the twist. No two fake blood recipes are the same. Each studio, each supplier, and even each scene might need a slightly different formula. A blood spray in a zombie film is not the same as a blood pool in a war drama. The real magic begins in a place most people will never see. The fake blood lab, often disguised behind industrial doors. These labs don't look like horror movie sets. They look like chemistry facilities. White coats, stainless steel tanks, mixing vats, pH monito, viscosity sensors. Here's how a typical batch is made. Base mixing. Corn syrup is blended with thickeners and stabilizers. Color calibration. Pigments are added drop by drop, tested under various lighting conditions. Heat processing. The mixture is heated to activate preservatives and eliminate microbial risk. Cool and cure. The blood is cooled, thickened, and allowed to settle. Viscosity testing. Lab staff test drip rate, stickiness, and splash behavior. Packaging, bottle by gallon, pint, or capsule, labeled with type and usage restrictions. Every step is controlled, because on set, one mistake, a wrong shade, wrong texture, ruins the illusion. An illusion is everything. Not all fake blood is created equal. In fact, the industry categorizes blood into several types, based on use case, thickness, and color intensity. Stage blood, thick, deep red, slow dripping, meant to be visible from a distance. Film blood, high def, lighter, more realistic under natural lighting. Mouth-safe blood, sugar-based, flavored, approved for ingestion. Washable blood, with non-permanent pigments for costumes and props. Coagulated blood, gel-like, lumpy, used for open wounds or zombie effects. Sprayable blood, thin viscosity, applied with pumps for gore bursts. Blood capsules, small, edible balloons that actors bite into on cue. Each has a purpose. Each is tested for specific conditions. Rain scenes, heat lamps, body movement. In horror cinema, how the blood behaves is just as important as how it looks. You might think fake blood is just for horror movies, but the truth is, it's everywhere. In fact, fake blood is part of a multi-million-dollar industry that stretches far beyond Hollywood. Let's break it down. Film and television, this is the most obvious and the most demanding. Big budget films like The Walking Dead, Stranger Things, The Revenant, and Saving Private Ryan use gallons of fake blood. The demand? Realism. Every blood spatter must match the lighting, camera frame rate, and even actor movement. Some scenes require dozens of takes, meaning the same blood effects have to be reapplied over and over again, without staining expensive costumes or damaging equipment. That's why the blood used in movies often comes in different grades depending on the lighting setup. For night scenes, slightly darker blood. For daylight, brighter, cherry-toned blood. For black and white, even different materials like syrup may be used for contrast. Fake blood also dominates the Halloween economy. From haunted houses in Orlando to horror mazes in Tokyo, fake blood is a top-tier special effect. Some attractions spend tens of thousands of dollars on gore effects each season. The blood here needs to be thick enough to look real under flashing lights, safe for skin contact and inhalation, long-lasting, sometimes through weeks of non-stop performances. There are even industrial-grade blood sprayers that shoot timed bursts of blood when guests walk through certain areas. Fear isn't improvised, it's engineered, medical training and simulations. Now, here's something most people never consider. Fake blood is used to save real lives. In medical schools and emergency training centers, fake blood plays a vital role in preparing doctors, nurses, EMTs, and surgeons. During trauma simulations, realistic bleeding is used to teach wound pressure techniques, amputation response, gunshot wound treatment, blood loss triage. And this blood needs to do more than just look real. It has to behave real, flow naturally, pool under gravity, react to bandages and pressure. The better the simulation, the better the training, and the more lives saved later. Military and law enforcement. The military also uses fake blood for combat training. On the battlefield, seconds matter, and soldiers are trained to treat traumatic wounds under extreme pressure. Simulated injuries with bleeding help. Sharpen reaction speed. Teach battlefield first aid. Condition mental response to blood and panic. In SWAT training, fake blood is even used to simulate hostage wounds, active shooter responses, and rescue operations. Indie films, YouTubers, and DIY horror creators. Today, with high-quality cameras in everyone's hands, there's a growing demand for affordable, DIY-friendly fake blood. Independent creators, horror YouTubers, and even TikTokers are ordering small-batch blood online, often directly from the same factories that supply Hollywood. Many factories offer custom blood packs, small bottles, capsules, and starter kits for creators who want realism without high cost. So the next time you see a dramatic skit with a gunshot wound on TikTok, yeah, someone bought that blood online. Now let's talk about who makes it. There are only a handful of major fake blood suppliers in the world. Some are hidden behind generic lab names. Others are famous in the SFX industry. Here are a few names insiders know. Marin, founded in 1927, used in film, theater, and television. Krylon, based in Germany, with special labs for FX fluids. Ben Nye, famous for its thick, washable blood formulas. Fleet Street offers hyper-realistic blood used in Hollywood blockbusters. My Blood FX, a newer entrant, specializing in squibs and sprayable blood. But the recipe? Still secret. Each company protects its formula like Coca-Cola protects its soda recipe. Even within the factories, employees may only know one part of the process. In fact, some labs label their ingredients as compound A, binder B, or syrup X, to keep their formulas confidential, even from their own staff. Why? Because the perfect blood is worth a lot of money and even more reputation. Is fake blood actually safe? Let's bust a myth. Fake blood is not always safe. In the early days of DIY gore, many creators used food coloring plus corn syrup. But this combo can stain skin, cause allergic reactions, or ruin clothing permanently. Modern professional fake blood must go through rigorous safety checks, especially if it will touch eyes, mouth, open skin, costumes worth thousands of dollars. Here's what top-tier fake blood must be. Non-toxic, hypoallergenic, non-staining or washable, flavorless or sweetened if ingested. Bacteria-resistant, some films shoot for months. In the US and EU, fake blood used in productions must often meet FDA cosmetic safety standards if it's going to touch human skin or be applied orally. The business behind the blood. Let's talk numbers. Because fake blood is not just a side product of filmmaking. It's an entire business model of its own. The price of fake blood depends on quality, ingredients, safety certifications, and application method. Here's a basic breakdown. DIY corn syrup blood, $5 to $10 per liter. Mid-range washable blood, semi-professional $25 to $50 per liter. Hollywood grade, mouth-safe blood, $100 to $250 per liter. Custom engineered blood, e.g. for prosthetics or HD film, $300 plus per liter. In comparison, that's more than premium olive oil or even some perfumes. Why? Because you're not just paying for red liquid. You're paying for realism, safety, stain resistance, lighting adaptability, and performance under pressure. On large film sets, it's not uncommon to order 50-plus gallons for a single battle scene. That could cost upward of $10,000 just for the blood. Here's something you probably didn't expect. Fake blood can be bad for the planet. Many older recipes use petroleum-based dyes, synthetic preservatives, plastic packaging, ingredients that don't break down easily in water or soil. Some haunted houses and low-budget sets even dump fake blood outside, creating chemical runoff in surrounding soil. But now, with rising awareness, some companies are pivoting. Eco-friendly formulas made with plant-based dyes, biodegradable thickeners, compostable squib packs, recyclable packaging. In fact, certain newer labs are developing vegan fake blood that contains no animal derivatives, no toxins, and no plastic additives. The result? It washes away cleanly. It breaks down in the soil, and it still looks terrifying. Let's go deeper now into the human mind. Why does fake blood affect us so much, even when we know it's not real? The answer is evolution. Humans are biologically wired to respond to the sight of blood. It signals danger, injury, disease, or death. It activates our fight or flight system. It forces instant attention. Our brain can't ignore it. Filmmakers know this. Psychologists know this. And the fake blood industry is built around manipulating that primal reaction. That's why so much care is taken in designing not just the look of blood, but also the flow, splatter, and timing of it. There's a reason horror movies often go silent right before a sudden blood burst. Your brain is being set up to react. The future of fake blood. So where do we go from here? Surprisingly, the future of fake blood may not involve much liquid at all. Here's what's coming next. Digital blood, VFX. Modern CGI artists can simulate blood with insane accuracy, controlling droplet size, color temperature, and even splatter direction. Studios like Marvel and HBO already use digital blood for many action scenes, especially where safety is an issue. Actor comfort matters, shooting time is short, or reshoots are common. The benefit? No mess, no resets, total control. The downside? Sometimes it just doesn't feel visceral enough. The audience can tell it's fake, even when it's perfect. 3D printed blood FX devices. Imagine wearing a device under your costume that releases timed blood bursts using microfluidics. No wires, no buttons. Just remote-triggered trauma. Filmmakers can now use AI to pre-visualize blood effects before the shoot, testing how blood will splatter, where it will land, and how it'll appear on camera. This saves time, money, costumes, eco-safe, edible, heat-resistant blood. Future recipes may include blood that can survive high temperatures, remain stable for months, and even be ingested safely in large amounts for scenes requiring vomiting or blood-filled mouth effects. Before we wrap, let's peek into what happens right before the director yells action. The blood is ready. The actors are in place. But it's not as simple as splash and go. Here's the checklist. Skin patch testing for allergies. Costume pre-treatment to avoid permanent stains. Controlled spill zones to protect floors and cameras. Rehearsal with dummy blood for accuracy. Wipe down stations and emergency showers nearby. Medical professionals on standby in intense trauma scenes. Every drop is accounted for, because even fake fear has to be carefully planned. It looks real. It flows like life. But behind every drop of fake blood is a factory, a formula, and a fear you were meant to feel. The next time you watch someone bleed on screen, remember, it's not just special effects. It's an entire science built to trick your brain, and it works.